right, test. See where we're at, see if everything's working right, because guys, you would not believe how many technical issues we had last week, and we had to do the stream without Twitter and do it straight up on YouTube. Let me see if I can get the screen working. We're not dropping frames. Let me know in the chat. Sounds good. All right, so we can see the chat. We can see that. You see the screens. I think we're good. I'm telling you, we lost everything on dual streaming. Would not work. Would not even start, and had to troubleshoot everything. What's up, guys? It's Runner. This is a weekly whale watch. If you guys don't know, I'm the main guy behind Rainbow Trends, and if you have any questions why any of my charts aren't like this in black and white, and why on earth they look like this, go check us out on the main website. And also, after this stream ends in about 45 minutes or so, we're going to go into the Discord and then hang out and do open mic session with the OGs or anybody who wants to come hang out. And if any of this stuff looks crazy and you don't believe it, go focus on the dudes who use Rainbow Theory and go see what they've been doing lately, because they've been killing it. But moving on, quick, I got these things a little backwards, so I'm going to kill this one and go here. All right, so first things first, wanted to talk about a few things. I kind of hinted at it earlier this week on Twitter and wanted to focus on something before we get into all the normal things. So story time session here. And this stream is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. Even if we were to mistake it for financial advice, you guys are way off. But I wanted to talk about something because I'm looking back and reflecting of the year. The year's coming to a close. Looking back and reflecting where I've come from. Because if you guys don't know, like, the original story of like Rainbow Trends, Rainbow Theory, none of this was supposed to ever be public, like ever. I originally made my own trading tools way back in the day because what I found wasn't working, and then all the stuff I started back testing failed back testing. So I started making my own stuff, and then people started realizing, hey, this dude who talks about rainbows and Alameda is like actually calling bottoms and stuff on crypto. And people started asking for it, and what, 3-4 years later now, we've got like a Discord community of over like 1,000 people, and it's grown, and very thankful to be part of it, and very humbled to all the people that help out with it and make me laugh every day. So much love to all you guys. But it made me reflect on like how this stuff was built, because this stuff wasn't built intentionally for where it is now. And there's been a big journey, a lot of stuff I've learned. Earned a lot of scars, learned a lot of lessons, made some friends, lost some friends. You know how it goes. And one of the key things was I realized kind of this week, like going back and learning, or like reflecting in general, like where it came from. Back in the day, like 2018, 19, I started looking for alpha. Like, where is their signal in the markets? And I started studying Discords. And I started even like looking at some paid Discords, some paid groups, researching everything I can, following all the big accounts on Twitter, finding, anybody who sounded intelligent, and started like learning and backtesting all their stuff. And found out like 90% of it was fake, probably 95% of it. And most people were just LARPing. And unfortunate as that was, I backwards engineered a lot of stuff and found out like it didn't work. And I tried to find every like badass Discord that I could and figure out what are these like actual communities doing, because surely there's some people here. And what I found out was, just like when I went through back tested like 200 indicators back in the day and found out like 98% of them don't test when automated, I found out that was the same thing for the Discord communities. I think I joined probably over 30, maybe 50 Discords and started researching all the stuff that they do, how they build a community and all this other stuff. I literally got rid of all of them except just probably about 2 or 3. But the main one that I started hanging out and listening is Moonshot. And if you guys don't know ever heard referring to someone as 9K, for better or for worse, I have a personality trait where I make up nicknames for people that I'm probably the only person in the world who uses that nickname. So if you guys don't know, his name is Swo. Cell went over 9,000. Cell 9,000 is his ticker. I call him 9K, and I think I'm probably the only one who calls 9K. But if you ever hear me say 9K, that's who I'm referring to. Even my wife refers to him as 9K at this point. But he's the main head guy behind Moonshot. And way back in the day, 2020 or something like that, I found Moonshot, maybe earlier, I don't remember exactly. It started hanging out with there, and it was a wild, wild west Discord community, just like all the other ones. But what I found out was the people that were sitting there joking and shit posting all day and posting charts, there was actual alpha behind it, and there was a quantitative crypto trader behind it whose name is obviously 9K. Well, not obviously, but 9K, and he taught me a lot of stuff and was actually willing to talk about how he did trading bots and stuff like that, and just found basically kind of a wild home, because I found out hey, these guys are just absolutely ripping on each other and shit posting all day, cracking me up. But there's actual oh shit, there's real size traders in here actually posting alpha. So I stayed around and learned what they did, and it's kind of weird. I kind of look at Discord communities kind of like a government. The way they're set up, the way they do hierarchical control, the way they do politics, the way they ban people, the way they promote people and stuff like that. And I learned a lot of stuff, how they had it set up, plus actual trading and stuff they do, how to manage size, how to network, how to work together and work as a team. Because surround yourself with badasses and it'll make you more deadly. That's all I can say. And I met a lot of friends in there, made some really, really early awesome connections that I still talk to daily in my life for Moonshot. So long story short, this is a huge shout out to 9K, and this is a huge shout out to Moonshot. So by all means, if you go hop in that Discord, you're on your own. It's a wild, wild west. That kind of wild, wild mess mentality is how they kind of keep riffraff out. But definitely go show them some love, some appreciation. Check out their website too. I don't know if 9K still has it, but he does offer some pretty cool trading indicators as well that are really good. But the lesson learned here is I didn't know how to make rainbow trends. I didn't know how to make rainbow theory. I didn't know how to code, but it didn't stop me. And it shouldn't stop any of you for trying to build something or try to get yourself. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to sit there, put in your 2 weeks notice, and never sit in a cubicle again, and not wake up before the sun comes up unless you want to, is how I kind of see it. So big thoughts here, just reflecting and looking back. And if you guys wonder, you guys wonder how I learned a lot of this stuff, this is still probably one of the only Discords I still hang out in daily, besides probably Peps and Stacks, as well as the Rainbow Trends Discord. But there's definitely a lot of themes, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of flavors that are reflected in Rainbow Trends and how he built it today. So just shout out and love to all those dudes, because none of this would be here without the lessons I learned from there, the scars I learned throughout the years, and going through these cycles and learning from these dudes, because collectively these guys are badasses. And that's what made me want to focus and build the actual Rainbow Trends Discord, to build a home, basically a dojo for all these dudes who actually want to talk and focus and study these whales and move forward. So anyway, that's my back history with them, and I wanted to just make you guys aware of it, so that way you can go stick your nose in their Discord and go see what they're up to, because they'll crack you up. But you'll find some really cool stuff, and they've taught me a lot of cool stuff. So anyway, I'm going to move on. If you don't know, we have an affiliate program with Rainbow Trends. If you want 10% off, actually, let me back up. If you actually are curious on the fence, you can actually get a month of Rainbow Trends for $10 if you just want to try it. I would make it free, but I can't automate the back end for TradingView, and it's very, very tedious. So if you want to try us out for a month, you can. And if you actually are a current subscriber and you want to get 10% off for life, sign up with the Kraken affiliate program, and you can DM me proof that you signed up, and we'll set you up with a back end coupon discount. But moving on to Kraken. If you guys haven't noticed, it's apparently list meme coin season on American exchanges, which is crazy, because back in the day you would think you would Pepe's not legal, you can't get it here, stuff like that, but we are, and it's been getting kind of crazy. And if you haven't noticed, when these things get listed on Kraken, they pump a little bit, but when the big thing is when they get listed on Coinbase. And when Coinbase lists them, we get a really, really crazy wick. before I get into the charts, let me catch up on the chat because you guys are absolutely blowing up the chat. And let me know, can you see that on the bottom right? Is that readable on your screen depending on what you're looking at? Anyway, what's up, Sean, Phil, Teen Quant, DK, Jen? What is quantitative trading, Jen? It is trading via computers and algorithms. No human is involved. So it's really, really fun, really, really boring, and a good way to lose money for years until you figure it out because it's awful. It's so hard, but it's what the whales use. So this is Peanut. If you didn't know, Peanut got listed on Coinbase. Big, big, big pink candles, full send, right? Giga, here is the announcement on Giga. Big, big pump. Pinks and cyans. You know what we do with pinks and cyans. They retrace. Big, big retracements. So if you're asking yourself, hey, runner, why are you focusing on Coinbase listings? I can't trade these until they go live. Well, if you don't know, Kraken lists a lot of stuff before Coinbase does. And if you can do some educated guesses, you can kind of knock down the usual specs of whose Coinbase is going to try to list over probably the next few months. Whether this continues into Q1, I do not know. One of them that still stands out to me, which I'm surprised the squirrel made it before the cat, or before the cat, is Popcat. Popcat has been on a tear. Rainbow Trends group has been trading this forever, ever since Aslan and Doppel started talking about it way back in the day. And it's just been on a tear. I think majority of the group got in under like 25 cents, and now it's like hit $2. But the point I'm saying is here, you guys know that I like martingale, so I wanted to explain in advance what I'm looking at for a martingale here on Popcat. As you guys may or may not know, Popcat is tradable on Kraken US. So what's that mean? It means I have a home turf to keep Popcat on and prepare a martingale sell wall. And that's exactly what this thing is here. So when I say martingales are something that typically quantitative traders use and automate. And most humans don't manually put these in, but that's where we're going to put in a little bit of extra work. And we're going to run through a setup I'm trying to get right now. It's up to Armstrong if they list this thing. But in the event that Armstrong says, hey, we're going to list Popcat, my thesis is it will do a gigantic candle for like 5 seconds and then bleed out over a day or two, right? Until it's actually listed again, and then liquidity can do whatever. But the big thing is the announcement. When the announcement hits, everything bum rushes. The order books on the other exchanges and stuff gets blown out due to liquidity. Kraken US doesn't have the greatest liquidity on Popcat, so we're looking for just a blip. And even if this candle prints for like a half second, if I have my limit orders in place, I can catch the wick. And what happens is with a martingale, you layer your bids. So if you've got your Popcat and you want to put $1,000 on each line, which is going to be less and less Popcat as you go up because the price is higher, or you can say 10% of the coins, 10% of the coins, You want to do 20 orders, whatever, you can do it. Regardless, this is what my current thesis is, and we'll revisit this video and this stuff if we get it. My plan is not to buy low and sell high. My plan here is to sell high, buy low. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense to people because they think that's bearish. It's not. It's free real estate. It's free Popcat if you get it. They explain the math because people, every time I talk about a BART setup, every time I talk about this type of setup, people are like, oh my God, you're bearish on this pumping thing. Nah. What I want to do is get more of the underlying asset for free. So what will say Armstrong comes out tomorrow, says, hey, we're listing the cat. It's awesome. Forget Miggles. We're going Popcat. But bam, say that happens, right? I then have a dollar cost average exit of somewhere around here, assuming I did equal dollar amounts, not percentage coins. Go play with Excel and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you need help, we can do it in the round table in about 30 minutes. So that leaves me at like 216. So use your long function here. Don't use the short function because the math is backwards. Put in it at like 215 and then drop this bad boy down and figure out where your DCA is, where you think this thing's going to bounce. Sometimes they don't come all the way back down. Sometimes they fully retrace. Sometimes it's literally a candle that's 15 seconds and then it goes back that way. You just don't know. But regardless, if your plan's in place, you're going to get a DCA that's higher than where it's going to be in probably an hour or two. And it allows you to get more and more of the asset. So, it's not working. We'll do the short one. I told you wrong. Use the short one. It's been a while. So assume that's your exit. You're not shorting this. You're selling into it. Albeit you could probably short it, but we don't like leverage. Forget that. That's a Pixa thing. But assuming I get this and not even a wick all the way up here, my DCA exit and still probably like 60% of my bag still left. Exit at 215 and just say, I want to be conservative and just cut it at that order block right there. Not order block, that pivot. Let it go to the right. And I see the chat blowing up. I'll talk to you there in a second. Hold on. Because this stuff's hard to mentally talk about. Right there. So say we get that candle and it lays out here. That's going to give me 23% of room. So if I sell 1,000 PopCat here, I can get 1,230 PopCat and for free, essentially, is the idea here. So, you're bearish, you sold PopCat. No, I sold PopCat for high and bought more PopCat for lower at the same dollar value. And if I'm bullish on PopCat overall and Coinbase listing it, in months from now, I'm expecting $3 PopCat, right? So I'm going to 20% increase my bag here, not USD, my bag, and then go party. Or this is a way to take profit off PopCat where you sell it and then you literally only buy back the exact number of coins you originally had. So if you had 1,000 PopCat, sold it here, bought it back here at 1,000 exactly PopCat, you can pocket 23% of the difference back into USD and keep it, and is as if nothing ever happened. You just have cash on the side and the same amount of PopCat, and bam, you just did a manual quantitative trading thing that a whale does all day, every day. If you ever see the order books, like right now, Coinbase, like this is Bitcoin, it's literally just this on both sides. And it's just quantitative martingales on both sides that are kind of like daring the books to move. But regardless, you guys can be stubborn, pull out your Excel sheet, figure out, hey, I want to put 10% of my cash here, 10% here, figure out what that is in the coins, layer them up, and you can kind of babysit them, check them every few days, and wait for the alert for bam, bam. And if you can do ad alerts and stuff there. So anyway, that is my quick thesis on the martingale catching of the PopCat. Will we get it? I don't know. But Coinbase listed Peanut today. So I've got hope. I think it's in the books, and I don't think PopCat's trademarked. So I think we could do it. But anyway, let me catch up in the chat. So let me see. Twitch is I'm trying to get off of Twitch and focus on Twitter and YouTube. So speaking of that, I don't charge anything for these. I don't even allow ads on these videos. So please like, comment, subscribe in YouTube. We finally hit the 400 follower mark in YouTube, which is crazy because I think Tom Crown gets that about every hour. But very, very fun to slowly grow this YouTube account. We've so far doubled it in probably a year. But we're trying to get that momentum going and get focus on the YouTube. But anyway, what's up, Mim? Why not hold PopCat and play it both ways? You can hold it. I guess you could short it here and cash your short, but that's just what I do and a lot of the other guys do. And it's just essentially like you're catching flash candles, bam, or if something comes out of peg. But anyway, moving on. It's crazy. We got 20 people here on YouTube, which is a lot. If you guys didn't know, we had a major update. I say major update. We developed, I say we. Well, we did. I worked with Mally on this. Way back in the day, Malifestro asked me if I could make a sequential tool that instead of counting to 9 and 13 sequentials, only, it would also add pivots to it. So I made the tool, went through all of the hard things that is part of releasing stuff publicly on TradingView. Shout out TradingView because you guys make all this possible. And I made this tool, and I just mentally fought with it because I was like, guys, I was like, Mally, I don't understand. Like, I fully understand how this code is coded. I know how it works, but I don't know why it works. Like, it shouldn't work counting to these 9 and 13s. But lo and behold, I made it, sent it to Mally, and then watched Mally absolutely slaughter charts for like 6 months with it. I was like, all right, I'm going to release it as a public tool. It took me like a month and a half to figure out how to release it publicly. People still DM me and ask me, what is that tool? How do you find it? What I've done, if you guys hadn't noticed, your standard liquidation levels tool is now renamed. And you will find this in your invite only section. So it's a free tool, but you can also now it's tagged into the standard liquidations level tool. So it's 2-in-1. So if you want to see the liquidation level tool, you can turn that on still and still use it. But you can also get the Manifesto pivot tool. So very, very excited to have that because the dudes hit it amazingly well. And you can even see like there's a 13 count there acting as support for Bitcoin. Like it hits hard. So why it works like that, I can't tell you. I can explain how it's coded, and that's I'm still shocked it has so much signal, but it does. And I used to backtest sequential counts. I always joked about making a sequential 25, and I snuck it in this tool. So I think it goes to a sequential count of 30. And whenever it finds that the count stops past 9 or 13, or past 13, it keeps counting. So it's equivalent. It's like, hey, I found a sequential 20, 21 didn't print. Bam! It puts these marks on here. So I did that, snuck it in. So if you like it, those are the vertical marks, and that's what those are, indicating, hey, look, this one went to 13 and it finally stopped printing. That's probably like a TD, or it's not a TD. It's a sequential 17 or so, and that's just kind of how those work. So, anyway, what's up, Aslan? We discovered your Popcat, sir. I've made a nicely used Toyota off of your confluence of the Popcat, so much appreciated. So anyway, we'll turn that bad boy up, but that's there in case you guys need it. Definitely go hit the Rocket Boost promote button or whatever it is in TradingView. I don't even know if it does anything, but it sounds cool. It makes me feel good because I get these little red notifications that you guys like me. Let me move this forward. Bring to front. So, Bitcoin's 99,500 right now. That's why your boy Pix is not on here. I joke. It's actually looking like we're gonna interview Pix in about 2 weeks. So he's got the microphone on order. We're very, very excited. Let me check liquidation levels on the lower time frames. Go to 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, it's still liquidity hunting for a lot. It's just chopping. We had really, really clear ranges back in the day. We don't necessarily have that now. It was all back down here as I draw across the screen like a rookie. We had all of this, and we traded the hell out of this, and it was hard. And then we've just completely broken free, and people have been begging for an entry since like $50,000. It just hasn't stopped. Literally, this is just straight up. And then this was like vertical up. And we haven't necessarily formed a range yet, but I'm starting to kind of see a range form on the hourly, and I'm starting to watch it here. We got some capitulation wicks. We got some stuff. Long story short, we're grinding. CPI print this week. It was kind of a nothing burger. It's heating up slightly, but basically the market said, hey, it's not scary. It's pretty normal here. And we saw this huge recovery from like 94,000 here. The one thing I want to focus on, if you guys don't notice, if you could point out in this, let me go way back. Let's go way back. If you can, let me go to BLX real quick. Can you point out on the chart where the largest liquidation in crypto history happened in 3 years, 4 years? Do you see it? Was it the big wick down? Was it over here? Was it when FTX went under? Here. And we blew the levels out. No, it wasn't. The biggest liquidation that's happened since 2021 happened here. I'll have to draw it on the daily. That wiped the floor with the market and liquidated ungodly amount of people. One of the biggest liquidation cascading events we've ever seen, and you can't see it in this chart, which is just crazy. This is why I don't ever recommend leverage. I don't. Leverage has ruined so many of my friends. It's the devil. Because if you're curious about it, it's not for you. The people who can actually do it, there's very, 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 very few. And that's why I'm real excited for Pixa, because Pixa is one of those few degens who can do it, and it's just, whew, it's not for me. But the point is, a lot of people died on that one. And some people, a lot of people, lost their entire portfolio here at 100K on that, longing this. So I'm begging you guys, we've got like maybe 6 to 12 months left of this run, unless the run never stops. Do not blow your powder. Do not blow your portfolio now. It's not the time. When we were sitting there getting long, taking profit, people were shorting tops, blah, blah, blah. This was chop for 9 or 10 months. This is not chop. This is breaking free after reaccumulation. That's what this is. The charts are hard. Life is hard, sure. Don't blow up now. This is not the time to do that. Just please, because you blow up here in regards to the halving cycles, you're going to cost yourself another 4 years of sitting in that cubicle. So keep that in mind. So anyway, I digress. Frankly, I've been getting a ton of DMs about this. I personally, my take on it is end of year, I don't want to hit 135 due to the mayor multiple. That is my wall. Let me see. End of year is here. Let's draw real quick because I think it's actually moved up now. If you guys go look at my old mayor multiple, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's end of year. And I don't want to touch the 2.0 standard deviation on the mayor multiple. Because if you touch that red thing, you start the end game. Sometimes the end game is 2 weeks. Sometimes the end game is 6 weeks. We've covered this extensively in the old videos. Go search them out. But for the most part, that's kind of our window for the all-time high of the peak of how these things play out with crypto and Bitcoin, etc. We don't want to touch that. We want to stay below it because the longer we let this bad boy play out, the higher these things go. And the higher they go, the higher the targets we can hit. Like that's 200K at that point next year. Like we want to do that. We don't want to top out now at like 140. We want to top out next year at like 250. That's the goal. So that's kind of where we are looking at for end of year. I'm not saying we do that. I think if you want to drive everybody crazy, do this into 2025. It will drive people nuts. And we've been going through hell the past like 9 months anyway. Maybe they'll do it. I personally think 100K is becoming the next floor for crypto, and it's becoming our base. This was our previous base now, and it's launched up. I think psychologically, 100K is going to be the floor. I don't think we're just going to go, oh, 100K, cool. I don't think that's happening. I think we're going to play with this psychological number for the longest time period. And I think it's going to say we do this, but if we do launch, I want to stay under this, which means I want the whales to keep us under $144,000 by the end of the year. That's awesome. It's like 143, but I'm going to call, you know what? I'm going to draw that up, make that 144. We'll call it a day. So, and people are like, oh my God, there's, because I was talking about like 135 earlier. People are like, there's no way Bitcoin is going to hit 135 by the end of the year. There's just no way. I'm like, okay, that's 35% move from where we are now. I know that's real simple math, 100 to 135, but keep in mind, in the past month, Bitcoin has done a 36% move in what? November. November, it went up 36%. If you count the yen carry trade bottom, Bitcoin's done a 100% move since August. So in 4 months, it's done 100%. You got a month or so. I'll say a month or so. You got like a little less than a month to put some action here. You could hit 110. You could hit 120, 130. Hell, you could hit up here even. But we just don't want that. We don't want that. We want all these numbers to go Q4 next year. We want to be euphoric as hell and like take some profit. But regardless, the other thing, this is a side note. If you happen to kill it, man, we are going to get into some stories today. I gotta get a better song right now. This one's too slow for this. We're gonna go to the song "Come Down" by Body of Light. I'm trying to get them on stream one day. I got one of them sold on it. The other one's not. Story time. I may or may not know someone who became one of the top 100 crypto whales in the last bull run of a particular altcoin that made it into the top 10. He dropped a few $1,000s into a crypto coin on some research. I'll put it that way. And he turned 4 figures into like seven or 8 figures. And he did not take profit at the top, and that coin is no longer in the top 10. It's probably top 200 at this point. He lost a lot of money. And this came up in a conversation this week with a friend who's not related to this guy. And he was like talking about an altcoin that he's made a ton of money on. And I wanted to walk you through this. If your portfolio, so say you knock it out of the park with a random altcoin, that's great. That's great. Let's hypothetically say you are long Fartcoin and you were like the hot air rises. Let's just hypothetically say you say hot air rises, right? And you bought at like 3 cents and it's at 63 and it's going to go to like $2 or something. Maybe Brian Armstrong lists Fartcoin before PopCat because that would make the most sense. Please help us, Gary. But anyway, the point is, say you're at this point, say your portfolio is like 75% BTC, 2% Fartcoin because you just thought it was funny and you threw a few $1,000s. If we get to the end of like a market, or at any point you even get in a run, it doesn't even have to be the end of the cycle. If your allocation at some point inverts and now you have like 2% of your dollar value is now Bitcoin, even though you haven't bought or sold any more Bitcoin, but this bag has just kaboomed. And now your portfolio is like 7 figures, 6 figures, whatever, but major cash, but you're in like Fartcoin, not Bitcoin or like OG Ethereum. You need to start rebalancing. And it's not saying you should fully abandon the hot air balloon that is Fartcoin. What I'm saying is you should start taking profit along the way. Dump it back into Bitcoin would be my recommendation, albeit this is not financial advice. And just put that stuff on a ledger and forget about it. 5 to 10 years from now, you will not be upset with yourself. You may have lost potential gains. I know someone who round-tripped did like $250,000 in Bowden. Just put some in Bitcoin. If you can turn a few grand into a few Bitcoin and you just put that to the side and forget about it, it's going to be awesome. Maybe I'm overlooking the utility of a coin like this. Maybe this is going to flip Ethereum and Solana and it's the next best thing. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you get into it with one of these random coins and it makes it into the top 10 or something crazy like that. Rotate. Get some OG Bitcoin to back you in case all hell breaks loose. Sometimes these new coins get hacked. They literally can go to zero. Someone was in Luna back in the day. Way back in the day. And the dude had his like 90% of his portfolio in Luna. And that dude went camping. He went camping with no internet service. He left for his camping trip as a millionaire on a highly backed coin, right? He came out of the woods. He got cell service. And he found out that 98% of his portfolio was gone. That can happen to anything, but it's definitely more likely to happen on a random coin that's never been made through one entire cycle. So keep that in mind on these ridiculous runs up. Just try to rebalance your portfolio, whether that's cash or Bitcoin, however you want to do it. But like, don't be in a weird new alt and be that heavy. It can burn you and cost you a cycle. My dude, my good friend probably would be retired by now if he had not messed it up. And he literally got into the top 10 on the alt. And I begged with him. I said, dude, the fact that your altcoin got in the top 30 is a miracle. You got into the top 10. Take a few $100,000 out of this, whatever, and do something else with it. Get it out, because you're like 95% this random altcoin now that's been on the market for a year. So anyway, I digress. Shout out T. That was your fart coin chart. No, it wasn't Sol. You'd be surprised. Yeah, you either sell too early or never. The key thing is to sell while you're profitable. You're not going to nail the top. I mean, I can tell you, even with like as badass as the Rainbow Trends tools are, and as cool as the dude is behind it, out of all of these, I hit that one at 4,400. It went to 32. I got within 2% of that one, but it was straight up pinks and cyan, and that was really, really easy. And then I was really good at this one, but I didn't nail it like Pico. The tops are harder. The tops are harder to get than capitulation, in my opinion. But the key is at some point you're gonna have to sell next year, and you're not gonna be at the peak. You aren't, and you need to be able to sit on that cash and not destroy it. Why do I say that? Someone sold Wi-Fi last cycle at $96,000 on Coinbase, which means if he sold it for $96,000, somebody bought Wi-Fi for $96,000. Wi-Fi right now is $11,000. Keep that in mind. Things get crazy. And this is the thing. You want to be the guy who sold Wi-Fi at $43,000 and took profit, and then the guy who watched it hit 96 and then never sold and watch it come all the way back to like $5,000. Like you're gonna get out and you're gonna have to mentally deal with it, and it sucks. It mentally sucks because you want to be that guy. Those guys are lucky. It's hard to do, really hard to do. Regardless, I'm gonna check the chat in a second, but I will say this: you also don't buy pinks as a rule, because if you'd have bought a pink candle on one of the hottest assets that almost hit 100K, and you were betting on $96,000 Wi-Fi to hit 100K on Coinbase that day, it didn't. Fudge. Someone bought it. Like someone. They haven't come forward, as far as I know, but some poor dude bought a handful of Wi-Fi over $90,000. Somebody did. And that's why Rainbow Theory in general has a rule. We don't buy pinks. We do not buy pink candles. Why? Because that's the top of the range of what whales can do, and it retraces. And there you go right there. Pink to white. So, anyway. Oh, Stack BTC. Yeah, that's right, Aslan. I'm telling you, name something that survived like 3 cycles, or let alone 2 cycles, and is still like worth more than it was. There's really like only a handful of things that have even survived 2 cycles, let alone 3. I mean, Litecoin right now, it hasn't hit an all-time high in 2 cycles, 3 cycles. Like the 2017, it hit over 400. Last cycle when Bitcoin hit 60, Litecoin still didn't go over like 450 or something like that. I think it got right up to the all-time high, and then it market tanked, and then right now it's 100. Like in hindsight, You want to be like the cheat code and trade like my mom, who out trades Sailor and myself. My mom only buys capitulation candles. She never sells. She has to like report nothing to the IRS except unrealized gains. She just buys this stuff with pocket change, and she's like turned pocket change into six figures. So shout out Madre. Anyway, I want to be 9K trying to become a quant. 9K is a tricky one, man. His IQ is fascinatingly high. He's a really cool dude. Like, I don't know. I know probably 5 quant traders, and they're just fascinating the way they look at stuff. And most of them don't talk like a surfer redneck like I do. So, anyway, ETF flows. We are way behind in time. If you didn't know, flows have been hot, real hot. In Bitcoin and CoinGlass showing Grayscale still bleeding out somehow, but Barry's down to 200,000 Bitcoin. So we're getting close. I say close. That's still a ton of Bitcoin. Sailor licking his chops at that one. The one thing, and I meant to show you, miners are healthy as F. Hash rate continues to climb. Hash rate doesn't give us a good signal all the time, but the one thing is, with Bitcoin price going up, we want to continue to see the miners being healthy and adding hash power to the network, because it means they're doing well. There will come a time where they're not doing well, and we need to take note of it, but we're going to check it once every 2 weeks or something like that. The big change. Ethereum flows have been kind of up and down, whatever, Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. This one's been different. Ethereum flows, which were nothing. Josh, our good buddy Josh, would even joke about the ETF flows being nothing. Ethereum has had some days where it's flowed more than Bitcoin this month, which is crazy. Regardless, if you can't tell, Larry Fink's team is buying tons of it. And it actually looks like it's starting to move the markets. Ethereum seems to be very, very well reacting to this. And let me show you the Ethereum chart real quick before I show you the next news article. It's a good time here. So I talk about, like, it's really, really hard to advertise like rainbow trends, because if I try to show you a 10-minute or a 10-second ad about colors and whales and rainbows, it looks tacky as F. Just keep in mind, this thing was not meant for that. It's meant to trade. It's not meant to look cool. There's tons of other competitors to Rainbow Trends that have really, really good marketing campaigns, but really, really crappy code, and they've got tons of people. So shout out to those dudes, because y'all made it work somehow. But regardless, the point is study the traders that use this stuff. Go look at their track records, and we had a lot of Rainbow Trends dudes long the hell out of Ethereum when it was the most hated asset in crypto Twitter. Everybody was making fun of it, and Vitalik was singing on stage, not killing the songs. Little recap. We bought this capitulation candle, got a little scalp, tried to realize that, hey, this is actually capitulation. This is, I say capitulation. This is like a capitulation Deathwick style accumulation range, and it was going to break up long to this resistance. And I'm currently in position 44%. And I hit my order block up here, and I got excited and wanted to keep it. And I should have sold, because that would have been a 50% spot trade. Which, in hindsight, yeah, I could have just held Ethereum Classic and made more. But it's showing you that, like, this stuff hits hard. It's built to kill. It's not built to look cool. So coming soon to you on Twitter is going to be some of the tackiest Twitter ads you've ever seen. And we'll see how it goes. I got a Twitter ad story at the end of this show. I'll go over, because I've been battling Twitter for 4 months now, trying to get Rainbow Trends Twitter corporate account unbanned. Ethereum is doing good. Ethereum flows are picking up. Now, mind you, Ethereum flows have not been picking up. We caught this on pure TA and chasing what the whales are doing. And now it's starting to, like, actually gain a lot. BlackRock has started to really wake up around here, and now we're back up to the order block. My projection here is, if we can get through this order block, retest it, and go, I think we're going to go for the all-time high. I think. And I will tell you this. If Ethereum goes for the all-time high, you have not seen an alt season yet. If this thing goes, you are going to see some of the craziest numbers you've ever seen in a long time. But at the same time, remember, one of the biggest capitulations ever happened this week, or it was last week, and across the board, you see my like ticker here of like all the Coinbase coins. When that bad boy hit, everything on here just said -30, -40. It was bad. Bitcoin didn't move, which was crazy, but keep an eye in. Like, we don't buy pinks and purples, right? We chill out. And a lot of people are asking me, hey, do we long this resistance order block? I'm like, well, this was the one to do it because this is lower. Here, we've got to really see if this thing's going to break it through, because you remember the old Solana streams. Solana came right up to the all-time high order block and nuked before it had to come back up. Like, these were like 50% pullbacks. Like, you got to be real careful, because you long high, these percentages get real out of whack and can mess you up. So anyway, Aslan, if you're willing to dance on the TikTok ad campaign, I'll pay for it. No joke. Anyway, moving on, because I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, this hit last night, I believe. Donald Trump's World Liberty Fi, which just, I guess it's going to be a thing now. I was skeptical at first. On-chain, their wallet started buying Ethereum, Link, and Aave, which is crazy. $10 million spent on Ethereum, $1 million on Link, and $24 million on Aave. So I've seen people argue that news doesn't matter. It's all related to, it's all in the charts, I strongly disagree. And for some reason, Ethereum's pumping right now. Now that I've just switched screens. That's fun. Bullish. Ethereum pumped on that news hard. Link went ballistic. Dude, what just happened while I'm streaming? What? Hold on, let's check Bitcoin. Why are the alts moving like this? Dude. All right, hold on. It's literally going pink while we're talking about it. Maybe Liberty Fi bought more while we were literally talking about it. I don't know. Ethereum's pumping too. Link's pumping. Aave's moving too. Ooh, can someone look and let me know if Liberty Fi is longing? Liberty. This is crazy if so. Let me go pull it up, because this is absolutely ridiculous. So it was Look On Chain was who did this. Let me go see if they posted anything else. Popcat went ever up so slightly. 53 minutes ago. Well, they bought more Aave. Damn. Of all things. Oh, they bought Bitcoin too. Huh. They bought Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, which is even better, right? Anyway, it's cool. News pumps is what I'm saying. News pumps. Aave's went ballistic. Pinks and cyans. This is nuts. Just to say, like, you have to stay on your toes. And if you guys don't know, there are whales that track these wallets with robots, bots. That means when the quantitative trader is sleeping, within 5 seconds of this news dropping on chain, they're long in the position, and then everything else FOMOs in, and that's what this stuff is. Like, go look at this on the 5-minute charts. Right here. Do you see this volume input? Boom, 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 boom. Cyans everywhere, and then you see whale prints. Bam, 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 bam. That's on-chain bots seeing that Trump's Liberty Fi bought Link, and bam, 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 bam. And Link proceeded to go 22% in an hour. Just crazy. That's a lot. That's a big move. And if these whales are quantitatively getting in there, before you realized it, before you even logged into the exchange, they're up 15%. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. What's up, Teen Quant? Bird long Dave. My guy. Now there's a whale print down. They're selling into it. So anyway, that's Aave. That's that. They're pumping. On chain. So to all the bears out there, the president elect is buying crypto on chain. On chain right now. Let me repeat. I'm not even trading on chain right now, but the president elect is. So maybe that's bearish, but I don't know how you would do that. Anyway, speaking of bears, I got accused of being a huge Ondo bear this week and pissed off half of my Twitter followers. So thank you for all the unfollows. It's much appreciated. Trying to keep this channel and everything low key. And the point is, hey, this is where you move your stop sway to prevent eating a BART on a drawdown. I'm literally telling you to protect your profit. I like Ondo. I even said I like Ondo. But this is a textbook's rainbow BART there. Go look at all these dudes that were just completely hating on it, calling me a clown. It's fun. I mean, it's fine. Like, dude, you're literally 45 minutes into a stream by a rainbow cow. I've been called a lot of things. I don't care about being called a clown. This stuff is meant to trade. You know, you can stay in your cubicle and call me an idiot. I don't care. The point is, this is a textbook rainbow theory BART trade. Without these tools, this stuff's really hard to do, but regardless, RSI rollover, candle color rotation, pinks and cyans. You guys know the setups. The HMA karate chop through. At the minimum, you bring your stops up to protect this in the event that it does this BART. And lo and behold, it did BART, and then it quickly recovered. And I helped out a friend who had a very, very large position in Ondo and said, hey, you need to pay attention here because this is a big deal. It's set up to retrace, so act accordingly. And he ended up taking some profit along like 172 or something like that, and then he ended up re-entering at like 130. So my guy literally increased his portfolio on that sale by 20%, and it's literally the same thing as the martingale math. You sell high, you buy low. Like, these BARTs confuse people because they think, hey, I'm selling and I'm not planning a re-entry. I'm planning a final exit. No, when you trade BARTs, if you like the underlying asset, sell the hairline and buy the neck on the other side, and you 20% free. Like, it's crazy. And he literally sold here, made 20% on his entry, increased the size of his bag, and then the bag proceeded to go, burp. Now the bag's up 40%. So, is this easy to do? No. Can you do it? Yes. You just have to think about it and be advanced, because the whales are wiping the floor with people right now, and you just got to kind of try to follow them. And that nuked. He caught it. He sold the hairline, caught the other side of the BART, and did awesome. So it was really cool what he did. I wasn't playing with Ondo at the time, but he was in position. He rode this up, sold, and went back on the bottom side. So literally this played out. And that's like rainbow theory specialty. It's one of the hardest things to trade, but when you overlay the colors and put all the different tools together, get confluence across the board, you can set up to take advantage of stuff like that. So anyway, we are going to be wrapping it up towards the end of this stream. Thank you for all for hanging out. Definitely click like, comment, subscribe. This YouTube algorithm is very hard to crack, and I'm not doing baity stuff. So I'm not doing the open mouth and telling you why Ripple is going to hit $5,000. But anyway, I wanted to share this interesting thing. Twitter ads is what I've been trying to get going for Rainbow Trends for a very long time. And what I found out was Rainbow Trends was flagged. And I reached out through all their normal help desk suggestions. And what happened is the help desk kept telling me that I was properly banned and that they could not tell me why I was banned because that would violate their policies and hint that about how people to get around the ban. I've read their entire policy book probably 10 times, couldn't figure it out, updated my account, changed my payment plans, changed everything, blah, 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 blah. And mind you, this is the Rainbow Trends corporate account like it's premium. Like I already have a payment going and paying them money for Twitter Blue or whatever. And I finally, after 4 months, got all the flags pulled off. And I wanted to share anybody who's got like an up and coming business or is struggling with this. Like Rainbow Trends is pretty much a one-man show. So this took me a long time and wanted to share my lessons learned here. I couldn't get through the Twitter help desk at all. Could not. And I begged, I pleaded, and I was like, guys, just please, like I'm a legit company, all this stuff. You know, couldn't get through. I finally found on their website, if you click this bottom part, talk to an expert, get started, this type of stuff, it will give you an information page. Interested in advertising on X. If you are stuck, fill this out and submit it. And in a few days, a X representative will reach out to you and talk to you. And once you have that, you can schedule meetings with them and do Zoom calls or Google Meet calls and get through it and talk to them about what happened. What had happened for Rainbow Trends, their system automatically flagged Rainbow Trends, not as a trading tool company. It recognized Rainbow Trends as a crypto coin, like an actual like tradable asset like Farcoin. And which is weird because I've seen crypto ads on Twitter, but somehow I got flagged as a crypto asset and got banned from advertising. Had to go back and forth with a very, very nice Twitter guy. We went through a whole bunch of stuff. I almost had to get some legal letters from some lawyers, just like, hey, say I'm not involved with the SEC or not under any of their ruling. Long story short, work with those dudes, talk with those dudes. They eventually got me bands gone, and now I can actually maybe do an advertisement. So you're gonna see some more dog donations this week at our local shelter. You're gonna see a bunch of cool stuff, and then hopefully get some non-tacky ads, or if we're fortunate, maybe get some Aslan ads on TikTok too. But anyway, with all that being said, I'm wrapping this up. I'm gonna go head over to the Rainbow Trends Discord. If you guys don't have the link, Discord links are kind of finicky. They're hard to get. At all times, at the top of here, join our Discord community. There's a permanent link to the Discord, and come hang out with us in the roundtable. I turn off all the streaming software, and we just hang out, and we ask questions. You need tutorials. You ask other OGs what they're thinking about. That's where we're at. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next week, Thursday. I don't think any Christmas stuff's going to come in fact. And we do have 2 upcoming interviews. Pixa 100K interview is coming. I'm super excited, as well as Jared Gray with Sushi Swap. I'm going to get some dates out and get some cool advertisements, stuff like that. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Much love.